You know, it's really great when the spotlight is on yourself. It's really great when people are talking about you in a real positive way and just making you feel warm all over. But sometimes when the spotlight's on you, it's not so great, because instead of being a positive thing, it's a very negative thing, because it's recalling things that you did, well, that you shouldn't have done. In John chapter 21, after the disciples had gone fishing and then they met Jesus on the side of the lake and he made breakfast for them, the spotlight's on Peter. It's just Jesus and Peter, but the spotlight's on Peter because Jesus is trying to restore Peter. He's wanting him to be faithful again and follow him, and faithfully follow him, and put behind him the mistake and the regret that he had of denying Jesus, but of necessity, because this was brought up and Jesus asked him, "Do you love me?" It reminded Peter of what had happened. And Peter doesn't like being in that position, and I think he's very uncomfortable. I think I probably would have been too. And Peter wanted nothing more than to get this behind him, I guess, but he also saw an opportunity to change the subject. In John 21 verse 20, it says, Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following them. That was John the apostle. And when he saw that John was following them, it doesn't say that John was being nosy or trying to listen to what they were talking about. No implication about that at all. But Peter saw this as an opportunity. And so in verse 21, it says when that he saw him, he asked Jesus, "But Lord, what about this man?" You know, let's quit talking about me. Let's talk about somebody else. A little bit like the woman at the well in John chapter 4. You know, when it got really personal, she said, let's change the subject. Let's talk about the place of worship. With Peter, as this was getting very personal, he said, let's change the subject. Let's focus on John. Let's talk about John. But then Jesus said to him in verse 23, "If I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me." You find really kind of a rebuke there. You know, what is that to you? In other words, Peter, don't be thinking about John. Don't be thinking about anybody else. Don't be focusing on whether they're following me or not. Don't be focusing on whether they love me or not. You love me and you follow me. Don't try to change the subject. You follow me. And that is the subject that never needs to be changed.